Hello there boys and girls, welcome to Scottish Geeks. It's time for another Doctor Who review. This time the episode is called Under the Lake, and it was by Toby Whithouse, or is it Whitehouse? I can never remember between the two of them, but anyway, yes, he is really good at Doctor Who ghost stories. Well, they're not really ghosts, but they kind of like to give you that impression that they might be ghosts, but then it turns out they're not ghosts. Whatever. Anyway, if you've ever seen any of his episodes, they're always kind of spooky, ghostly kind of things, you know, very Charles Dickens? I don't remember. Anyway, so this episode we see the Doctor and Clara appearing on an underground station. Very Soma-like, in fact, and it's a game I've been playing recently where you're in a sort of abandoned underground sort of sea station where there's all these horrible things happening because of technology. But anyway, this appears to be the one episode where the Doctor's actually stumped. He really doesn't know what's going on, but he still tries to explain everything in only the way the Doctor knows how, which is by using a bunch of techno-babble which he himself doesn't understand to try and seem like the most clever person in the entire room. He knows he's not sometimes, but hey, whatever. Now, there was a couple of characters in there that I immediately disliked. For example, first of all, Pritchard. He was an idiot. You knew he was going to die. You really did. I mean, there was no... He was just an... Okay, he's... Idiot. That's all. Idiot. Severe idiot. There's something here that could be expensive. I'm going to try and sell it. After all, I'm Money Man. Yay! Whatever. Anyway, so he died off quite quickly. There's a couple of ghosts in there. One of them had a sort of weird hat thing. Didn't really get the explanation about where that third creature was from. I kind of missed that. I kind of just straight in my mind, which is a bad thing with Doctor Who because I like to know every single detail of everything that's going on. Now, the one thing they kept on doing was they kept going into this chamber, which for the life of me I can't remember the name of it. Faladay, something like that. But the ghost couldn't go. So they eventually got the ghost into this chamber, and then they started to talk about what they were going to do next and everything. Doctor's known by some of the crew members, etc, etc. Clara being dumb for once. I know some of you think she's dumb all the time, but she was just like, no, we can't leave, we've got to continue with this adventure. Like, no, you could just go. You know, you don't have to be there. Whatever. You could stay in the TARDIS while the Doctor does his thing. But anyway, yeah, so it ends up that the Doctor now kind of sort of has figured out what's going on, and he will be going back in time to try and solve the problem, which will be next week's episode. But then for this episode there was a bit of an anomaly. We saw the Doctor dead. Now, the Doctor doesn't believe in ghosts, or he didn't, because apparently they could appear at some point in history, you know, like the Badger or the Comb, you know. These things never existed once, but they do eventually exist. But I don't like that explanation. I reckon they're just like sonic echoes or something like that. That's just the way I think. Just the way my mind works. Sonic echoes, possibly. Who cares though? Just one of those things. We'll find out next week in next week's episode, where Corey Taylor will be lending the voice to the monster of the week. The Fisher King or something like that, or the Kingfisher. I can't remember the name of it. It'll come up next week anyway. So what did you guys think of this episode? I thought some of it was maybe a little bit slow. There was a few funny moments in it, and there was actually one section where I was convinced that Peter Capaldi sounded just like Tom Baker. In fact, his Doctor seems to channel Tom Baker more than any of the rest of them. After all, he is the fourth Doctor in the new series, so technically that's how it would go. That's the way I reckon that these new Doctors have been sort of going on. You know, like Christopher Eccleston was more like the original Doctor, kind of cranky and everything like that, whereas, you know, David Tennant was more like the second Doctor, very whimsical, like to do things but can get angry really easily. Matt Smith was more like John Pertwee's Doctor, you know, very earth-based, very physical, you know, everything was like, oh, flappy hands and all that. But yeah, Peter Capaldi seems to be more of a Tom Baker style Doctor, you know, sort of older but with a sort of a childlike glow to him. I don't understand what it is about him. He's just been a great Doctor so far. The first series he was in, series 8, he didn't do so well, but he seems to be coming into his own in this one. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Did you find it scary? Did you find it intriguing? Did you find it had some sort of a darker psychological edge to it? Were there questions that maybe you got answered that I maybe have missed, or were the questions that you want answered that you hope that they will answer? And please, for the love of fuck, the Sonic sunglasses, I don't like them. I'm sorry, I don't. It's just, that's just me though. I don't like the Sonic sunglasses. Sorry. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, favourite, comment, share this with your friends and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. But until then, bye bye.